we'll start off with Triple G, who I believe is the favorite in this particular fight. Now, for me, Triple G needs to jab, jab, jab. He needs to establish his jab. I think he has a better jab than David Lemieux. Their arms are about the same length, but Triple G has a crisp jab. And when you have the type of power that Triple G has, a jab can actually be a punch that hurts your opponent. So I think he needs to establish that early, especially to ward off another guy with power in David Lemieux. Now let's take a look at David Lemieux. Now, David Lemieux, his money punch to me is a left hook. He needs to land that. But Lemieux needs to fight how he normally fights. Now, what I mean by that is every so often you have a fight and out of nowhere, a fighter will try to refine or change the style that they've always had success with or that they've used in the past. So I think Lemieux needs to fight how he normally fights, that aggressive style, and be him. Don't try to all of a sudden become Vasyl Lomachenko, a Floyd Mayweather, and like think too much and not let your hands go. You have to be the throw caution to the wind type of fighter, because in my opinion, that's what gives Lemieux the best chance at success of just really hurting Triple G to the point where he can't recover. So I don't think this would be wise for Lemieux to all of a sudden try to like outthink and outbox and be have a different DNA than he showed in his previous fights. Now, the other thing, kind of piggybacking off of that, Lemieux needs to get Triple G's respect early. And then the other thing is, don't get discouraged. Triple G has an enormous amount of power, a lot of amateur experience. Don't get discouraged, because it's a fight and you have to realize that you have firepower too. So even if Triple G, let's say he's landing some good shots in round one, but you're still on your feet, then don't get discouraged. Stick to the game plan. Make the changes that you need to and adapt and keep pressing. You know what I mean? Because anybody that has home run, one punch, like I can hurt you power, they're always in the fight. Last thing for David Lemieux is shorten his punches. I think he punches too wide. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with my post-fight for Triple G versus David Lemieux. Easy work. And Ego Stradamus strikes again, man. I told you guys, I did a month ago, I did 7 reasons why Triple G will beat David Lemieux. I did that video a month ago. And some people agreed, some people disagreed. And then I think it was yesterday, I did the video that you heard the snippets of at the beginning of this video. And it's very apparent that Triple G, I'm not saying he really listened to it, but Triple G listened to my Boxing Ego Corner video and David Lemieux didn't. It's just that simple. Triple G, he put on a star performance, domination, pure domination, total domination, and Lemieux was never really in the fight. Like, there's a couple spots where he landed, so he just didn't do it. Triple G used his height and reach advantage. Triple G's about 1.5 inches taller, they said, and he used that to perfection. Again, like I said in the Boxing Ego Corner video, jab, 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 and that's what the fuck Triple G did. Now, this wasn't the type of balls to the wall, barn burner, Mexican style, no, God, you know what I'm saying? And that's what always happens. Not always, I can't, because there's some fights like Eric Morales and Barrera or something like that, and they turned out to be what they were as advertised on paper. But this particular fight wasn't. It was usually when you get two guys with massive power, the better boxer will show that he's a better boxer and create that separation while using his power to hurt his opponent. But, you know what I mean, more or less picking his spots and showing that he's a better boxer. I.e., I thought Lucas Matisse versus Ruslan Provodnikov would be like Matisse's fight with John Molina, which was an unexpected treat, but it wasn't. The Matisse he's the better boxer puncher, clearly better everything defense-wise than Ruslan Provodnikov, who's a lot more one-dimensional, and you've seen Matisse turn more boxer than he had in some other fights, you know what I mean? Because he knew he was in there with a guy who can crack. Same exact thing with Triple G. Triple G showed he's the superior boxer, which is pretty much what I told you in the 7 reasons video, the corner video. He's just too strategic, too surgical, but I give credit to Triple G. I've already told you guys I think he's the best middleweight out there currently, and I give him credit because it still takes something to take a guy like David Lemieux, who is a newfound champion and should have some confidence based on his Rosado and Indom wins or whatever, and a guy with threatening power, and to reduce him to what we've seen him. You know what I mean? Because if you put Quillen or just really anybody else in there in the middleweight division with Lemieux, I don't think the fight would have looked the same. So that's a testament to Triple G. He just has good balance. He's surgical. He's strategic. And he was really picking his spots. And that was, I mean, you could see like from the tweets I was putting out, it was just all Triple G. I gave him really every round. And Lemieux didn't do the things he needed to do in order to secure victory. Point blank. I think Lemieux had to be somebody who he's not, and that's like a Mike Tyson type. What I mean by that, bend at the waist, pivot, jab, you know what I mean? Like use some head movement. And he wasn't doing that. And you're not going to have a guy who's taller than you, who's like picking you off, who has power, just discouraging you and picking his spots and not letting your hands go and have some success. You have to be in Triple G's chest. You have to smother his punches. You can't try to box him from range. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're not Mayweather where you can box people from range. You have to be all up in his shit, and you have to back Triple G up. And I think Lemieux had the power to back him up, but he allowed Triple G to start getting off with that jab, discourage him, which is what I said in the Boxing Ego corner, and then the rest is history. He never really got into a rhythm, and by that time his face started getting peppered and red, and his nose started leaking, and it was a wrap. So props to Triple G. He made a guy with exceptional power look, you know what I'm saying, like he hasn't looked in his last couple of fights. So, again, Triple G's really the best middleweight out there, in my opinion. Lemieux did get knocked down once with a body shot, vicious body shot. So, props for being durable and tenacity. And I feel like Lemieux wanted to win. He just didn't have the knack. He didn't have what it was going to take. Like I said, what he would really need, jab would have been perfect. Like, one thing that I know in boxing, man, just for all you guys who like boxing or box yourself, you almost have to mimic what your person's doing, what your opponent's doing. And by that I mean, if someone's cracking you to the body and it's hurting, maybe you should go to their body. You know what I mean? Triple G was tripling the jab. That's his name for this fight, triple jab. He was getting busy with the jab, and he was just freezing Lemieux. You know what I'm saying? So even though Lemieux has shorter arms, jab, 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 jab at his chest, keep something constantly out there to disrupt what Triple G's doing. You're not going to win with a guy that type of power who's picking you off and you're not disrupting him. That's exactly, I mean, he was a sitting duck. That's really what it was. So props to Triple G. On to the next one. Easy work, total domination. Lemieux, there was like a lack of a game plan. You know what I'm saying? You can't be the shorter fighter, no type of jab, not digging to the body, not landing your left hook. There's too many no's on his checklist for him to have won the fight. So again, props to Triple G. He did exactly what I told you he was going to do, and now he is the IBF champion as well with that unification belt. Drop it in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think of my prediction, what you think of the actual fight. Did you pay for it or did you stream it? Let me know all that stuff in the comment section. Make sure you like my video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.